RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
Yo. I'm sick. Holy shit. I thought I had cleared my throat before I started the show. And I did get a new camera. It looks a little weird. It looks a little... Look at my teeth. What the fuck is going on here? Yeah. Oh well, we're gonna have to deal with it for tonight. It's like my teeth look blue. Or am I not seeing it correctly? We'll have to deal with it. It's all good. Hey guys, this is Tara Devlin, unapologetic liberal talk on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. As long as the sound is fine, it's bearable. So let me know what you think. I did get a new camera. It wasn't cheap either. So, please become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. Maybe one day we'll get some real equipment in here, and that'll be that. I'm looking very low. All right, whatever. I get very hypersensitive about the way I look when I see myself. So, all right, thank you guys. The sound is good, right? The video, we'll talk about it. How's the video? No, really. Let me know what you think. I'll have to fuss with it some more, I guess. It looked good when I was doing the test, but now that I see it, doesn't like my teeth look blue? And it looks kind of blue on the graphic. So, all right, let's see. Where do we begin? Thank you, Charlie from APS Radio News, for keeping the show going and growing in spite of all of the challenges. And hey, we do it anyway. This is it. This is the liberal media, and so is APS Radio News. Even though Charlie likes to be a little bit more, I don't know, what's the word? He likes to give a platform to diverse views. Not MAGAts or anything, but, I mean, he's not a traitor, or, there's enough MAGAts out there. They have big billionaire benefactors. They don't need Charlie's help, so, and, yeah, so, check it out and tell Charlie that Tara sent you, because Charlie's a good guy. And he loves animals, so that goes a long way in this world. And we're gonna need our animal friends the next 4 years, because, as we know, studies show that cats, having a pet is good for your psyche. In fact, cats, the purring of cats has been shown to lower blood pressure. That's why I have 4 of them. And, yeah, whatever. It's going to be a long 4 years. I'm trying to make the best of it already, but it already sucks. And thank you, patrons. Patreon.com/Tara Devlin. Help keep the show going and growing. So, yeah, we could still be here when we get to the other side of this fascism. And Jim on the chat says, watching, I was going to say washing, washing fish also lowers blood pressure. Okay, I can understand that. And thank you, Jim, for your super chat. All right out of the gate. And thank you, Jim, for being a moderator in the chat room. All right, we got a lot of work to do. I apologize. I wasn't here during the week. Robyn Kincaid and I from headon.live covered for Mike Malloy, who had to go and do some family business or whatnot. Can't talk. And so that was that. But I was sick. I don't know if you heard the Malloy show in the beginning of the week. I could barely talk. I lost my voice. I don't know if it was annoying, but like I say, no days off in fascism. And then I simply could not talk and do a show during the week because we pre-recorded on Wednesday and I couldn't talk anymore. It hurt. Nothing would come out of my mouth. And if you're a maggot, I guess you would say that was God's will. But if you're a patriot, you say no. Hell to the no. Okay, listen. Where do we begin? Nothing says, nothing is more emblematic of what we're up against or what the future will hold for maggots, for us and the maggots. You know, a lot of things we're going to talk about are how the leopards are coming for the maggot faces, and already, you know, I'm so sick of them, but I can't wait. That's one thing that's going to keep me going in the next 4 years. The Schadenfreude. Really. I'm gonna live on Schadenfreude. I'm going to eat it up. That's gonna be the wind beneath my wings. 'Cause I have no mercy for them. I have no sympathy, and I'm sick of them. And another thing I want to talk about is the Democrats, of course, too, and the mainstream media. We'll get to that too, because it's all connected. We're in this boat because of the mainstream media's refusal to treat the Democrats and the Republicans with the same standards. The laziness of the mainstream media to constantly harp on nothing but polling the ignorant voter rather than informing them, and of course, you know, we have half of the mainstream media is actively in the pockets of the right wingers because they hate democracy. You know, they'll be fine, just as we're seeing with what's going on with Trump's inauguration, where he's going to take the oath that he will immediately violate. And nothing says, nothing is more emblematic of his lack of respect for the so-called forgotten man than what he's doing, because it's too cold. It's going to be very cold on Monday. And of course, Traitor Trump, because he's such a manly man, right? This is the other thing that's so tedious about the time we're living in. These poor maggots, they're so put upon, these poor masculine men, right? Everyone's picking on them, like Pete Hegseth, who had to tell everyone when what a grilling by the Republican Congress people. How many push-ups can you do? I mean, don't these people have any integrity? Of course not. They have no shame. It's a circus. It's a clown show. They have degraded us. And, of course, the mainstream media acts like this is normal. It's not normal. You know, it really isn't. There was a time where even the Republicans would at least pretend to act like adults. You know, they had some actual questions. There was some just the minimum level of standards for application for people who are applying to lead major organizations like the Defense Department and the National Intelligence Agency and all of these agencies that keep America safe, right? I thought they were all about law and order and keeping us safe. It's all bullshit. In case you're just passing through, I'm here to tell you, Republicans are they are the enemies that the founders warned us about. Whenever we take an oath, a lot of people take an oath to the Constitution in various roles. Though when in that oath we talk about the domestic enemies, that this is who we're talking about. They're putting people like, or at least trying to put people like Tulsi Gabbard in the National Intelligence Agency, when she's a Russian asset. She's an open Russian asset, and the other thing that is getting me, I know we're kind of all over the place, but we'll focus in a minute. What I was just thinking is that the mainstream media. Here's another example. The Republicans who are trying to get their cabinet picks, the Traitor Trump's cabinet of freaks and curiosities together, putting aside the fact that the Republicans were at least, they weren't as gracious, and they never are to Democrats when they are trying to fill seats on the judiciary or in their cabinet. But the mainstream media isn't pointing out, or hold on a second, just come back. There's a good end to that sentence. This is Tara Devlin. What I've noticed is that the mainstream media is not even pointing out that Republicans are refusing to even meet with Democrats. Now, that's the new standard in the Republican Party, right? That you don't even meet with Democrats. And it all ties together with how the media and the Republicans have been complicit, how they grade Republicans on a curve, how they hold Democrats to a high standard, and where Republicans are held to no standard at all. And it's not normal to not meet with Democrats. It's not okay to simply enable it or to normalize it with silence. Because that's what the mainstream media is doing. They're not outraged about this practice. That it started when the Republicans wouldn't meet with Merrick the Meek, when Obama, a man that the American people voted for in 2 landslide elections, to give that constitutionally proscribed role of nominating a Supreme Court justice to. That we voted for that. And Moscow Mitch McConnell said, oh, well, kiss my ass. And the mainstream media, what did they do? It was just violating norms. No, it wasn't violating norms. He was following the Nazi playbook. He was thumbing his nose at the entire constitutional system and the oath that he took that he pretended to take to support the Constitution, to protect it, to defend it, and all that other garbage that Republicans don't give a shit about. And, what good are we? We will never last, as Thomas Jefferson understood, that we would never survive without a free press. But here's the case in point, staring us right in the face. It's coming in 2 days. We don't have a free press. We have a complicit press. We have a cowed press. And when Traitor Trump, when he began his antics years ago, calling the press the enemies of the people everything that was true, fake news, and half the country was being bamboozled by fake Fox News, a propaganda channel that even before Traitor Trump was, studies showed, made its viewers less informed than those who watch no news at all. And now we know it's even worse how they had to pay the largest fine in American history, or they were adjudicated the largest fine, judgment, I should say, for lying to its viewers. And then the right-wing influencers like Benny Johnson, like these popular right-wing influencers, literally being funded by the effing Kremlin, and then you have the other half of the media complicit in their silence, which is sickening. And I wonder, and one of the things we were talking about with, I was talking with Robyn about when we were filling in for Malloy, is that I wonder how, because when Traitor Trump takes the oath, he will officially be the oldest president ever to take that oath. He will be older than Joe Biden was when he took the oath. So will we be inundated with nonstop articles and polls about how old that carcass is, how old and decrepit he is? Of course not. They haven't wasted their time at all. They waste more time sane washing him. This is a guy that can't put two sentences together without sounding like a goddamn idiot. And, we all heard him. Child care is child care. You gotta have it. You gotta have it. Right? We all heard that nonsense. But, they reported it as Trump says tariffs will solve America's health, child care issues. Unreal. Look forward to more of that. But, okay, get back to the inauguration, the fake oath he will take behind closed doors in the warmth and the comfort of the indoors with his billionaire puppeteers. While the forgotten man morons who rearrange their pointless, cult-centered lives to travel to D.C. get left out in the cold, figuratively and literally, of course, because they will be left out literally. Nothing speaks more about what's coming, bubbies, MAGAts, than that. You think he gives a shit about you? It was cold. And other times, Ronald Reagan, it was 7 degrees. Obama, 22 degrees. I had a list over here somewhere. Where is it? Yeah, there's many. Oh, yeah, here we go. Here's Wheeze Goes. Where's is it? See? Reagan, 7. Kennedy, 22. Jeez. Barack Obama, 28. Carter, 28. FDR, 29. And again, FDR, 33. Whoa. You think you could just be uncomfortable for a minute, you big fucking baby, right? And to keep those forgotten men and women in mind. Of course, not women. We forget the women all the time, but it's the forgotten man. If you say forgotten man and women and woman or whatever, that means you're woke. That's DEI shit. You ain't talking no DEI shit. Because if you include others, if you have inclusive language, then Pete Hegseth's little peepee will shrink. And so will Traitor Trump's. They won't be able to sexually assault someone. Anyone. Just give them anyone. So, yeah. And that's the other thing. Ed on the chat says he knows the crowd outdoors will be pathetic. Exactly. That too. Because hotel occupancy rates they're lower than they were the first time the con man took the oath that he immediately violated, and they're at 70%. So yeah, so according to, where is it? DC hotels are 70% booked. This was 2 days ago. Hotel rooms are getting more difficult to find, 70%. But at this time, even last time, which was a poorly attended inauguration, as we know, the hotels were 97% booked. So, it's also Martin Luther King's holiday. So, maybe people are in town for that. But, the MAGAts are upset. They feel like the forgotten man now again. But you know what's it's just such a disgrace, the whole thing. They are a disgrace to humanity. Hold on a second. We'll be right back. All right. Thank you for hanging out. This is Tara Devlin, Unapologetic Liberal Talk. God damn it. And we need that, don't you think? Now? Because this is the liberal media. And I hear you, kids. I hear you. I hears you. Hold on. I forgot to hit a button. Did I? What the fuck is going on here? All right. Where the hell was I? Where is it? Yeah. Pardon me. But, you would think that Traitor Trump would consider the morons that travel to see him, and this historic, I don't think it's historic at all, but but to them it's history, right? They want to see their convicted felon con man take the oath of office so he can, because they want to get busy beating up on the misunderstood, the minority groups that they hate, that Traitor Trump promised will only they'll be the ones that will be hurt. This time he's only going to hurt the right people, right? Like that lady famously said in the article when her job was furloughed in one of his shutdowns. He's not hurting the people he needs to be hurting. But this time he promises he'll hurt the people he needs to hurt, like trans people, less than 1% of the population. He's gonna focus on them. Because if you talk about being, if you talk about just being inclusive or decent or include everyone, the whole the whole tapestry of the human experience. If you include all people in your circle of compassion, then these manly men, they lose their erections or something. I don't know what it is. Something happens. So it's really pathetic, but they're very, very fragile. Like to the cold. I remember, and I was telling Robyn too, when I was in the National Guard, it was very cold sometimes. You were outside. I had to sleep outside. You're fucking cold. It's cold. But you do it, right? Because that's your duty. That's what you signed up for, right? To be a little bit uncomfortable sometimes. Because there's a bigger purpose at hand, supposedly. You would think that the so-called presidency of the United States would be something that could at least inspire someone to rise to the occasion and say, you know what, it's cold, but all these MAGAts, these forgotten men and women MAGAts came far, and they rearranged their useless, pointless lives to come here. And they don't know, of course. Well, I told them I'm only going to hurt trans people, but I'm going to fucking fuck them over. Like, I'm going to bang their fucking heads against the wall like a broken screen door, and they're going to beg for more. But Right now, I got to do something nice for them at least. Let me give them the experience of them seeing me put my hand on this Bible that I've never read and pretend to take the oath to the Constitution that I'll violate. And, it's like, it'll be, what is it, fucking 30 minutes out there? Right? Whatever. We could do it. We can do it, guys. Hey, we're in this together. They can't, he couldn't muster that for these morons. But of course he says it's because they'll be cold. It's dangerously cold. Well, try being a homeless person in the United States, you scumbag. In the richest country on earth. Try that for a minute, right? Try that. Maybe peel a couple of billions off of the top of Elon Musk's, one of Manchild Musk's government contracts that he gets for blowing shit up. And maybe we could house every fucking person in the country. And nobody has to be cold. Nobody has to be hungry. But that's too much, e pluribus unum, for these scumbags. But don't worry, Manchild Musk, Zuckerberg, all these manly men, they will be nice and warm and toasty, while their puppet takes the oath that he will immediately violate. So, let's see. And I really, I can't take it. But, but what I'm telling you, see, the MAGAts are all celebrating. Not all of them. We'll get to some of them are concerned because the leopards are coming for their face and they know it. But I'm there for it. I'm happy. I love leopards. Go for it, guys. But for example, right before, not too long ago, today, this day in American history, the year of our Lord, 2025, on this day, Roseanne Barr, who sadly used to be a decent, I don't know what the fuck. She went off the rails. She went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for this traitor. And she's already a kook, right? She really lost her mind. Well, she's always been kind of kooky, right? Because she's somebody, remember back in the day, she said that she suffered from multiple personality disorder. Now that's coming back to me. That was during the years of her success on her show, on her sitcom. But she went through a lot of things. As Trump would say, she's going to go through a lot of things. But she said that, she said she had multiple personalities. Wait, hold on, I'm looking it up. Roseanne. Huh, where's all my movies? I hate when my search function doesn't work. Hold on. I blame my cold. You could probably still hear it in my voice, right? It's kind of raspy. I kind of like Demi Moore. It's a Demi Moore kind of... It's probably going to get worse as the show goes on, too. Oh, here it is. Here's the Roseanne rap video. But I was looking for this other video I had of Roseanne screaming with perjury traitor Green about how Hillary Clinton eats babies for real and drinks blood, but I can't find it. Let's see, Roseanne March. In the meantime, I know I had it. All right. Become a patron so maybe we can get a producer that doesn't sleep on the job. Everyone, you can see. He's just sleeping. He's lucky he's in the union, right? That's what you get with a fucking union. Fuck you, maggots. That's the other. I hate these maggots. You understand? You know why? Because they not only eat their own faces, they want to take everybody else's face with them. Right? They always. There is hate that intoxicating, hating segments. I mean, I don't sit around hating these people. Well, I just said I hate them, but I don't hate them to the degree like I'm gonna go get them. I want them to have health care. I hate them because they are dumb and they stand in the way of progress. They not just, I mean, progress is different for everybody, right? They stand in the way of decency. They stand in the way of a functioning democracy. And, I don't care. Go worship your sky spook. Go have 19 kids and counting. I don't care. That's the difference. Liberals, normal people, we don't care. Mind your own business, right? But you can go have your 19 kids and counting in a country where people mind their own business. But we invest in each other. We invest in education, and if you work here and you build a business here, you have to be able to pay people living wages, and then you pay taxes. We have a progressive taxation system that funds that is a stopgap to intergenerational aristocracy developing. I mean, this is my fantasy, right? That's what I'm talking about. That's what liberals want. That's what we had in the time in American history called the Great Prosperity. This is the 20th century, the time that Republicans are so offended by that they are rolling it back. That's what they're up to at this. That's the game right there. To roll back the American Revolution. So, I'm just saying, when I say I hate them, it means, do I hate them? I don't like them. I don't want to hang out with them. They're very tediously boring, and it's hard to carry on a conversation with anyone who is that thoroughly propagandized. You have to have a certain level of facts that you're operating with. But, there's no alternative facts. Right? That's the other thing. They think, oh, you got facts. Well, I got alternative facts. No, it's a lie. Like in their world, Traitor Trump was being picked on by the Justice Department. It was a lawfare. The rogue Justice Department went after him because why? Because they were picking on him for sending a violent mob to the Capitol to try to stop the peaceful transfer of power, for fuck's sake. Or they asking him politely, please, can we have those classified documents you stole back? You effing maggot moron. Threat to national security. They don't belong to you. Can we have them back, please? Pretty please, for 18 fucking months? Different rules, though. Oh, but Joe Biden had them in his garage. It's two different fucking... Joe Biden didn't hide them in his garages. They were there because Joe Biden said, oh, you better come in, let's look and see if there's anything here that shouldn't be here. And that's what they found. And they immediately disclosed it and gave it fucking back. They didn't hide it. They didn't send their minions to take it from a storage locker and to avoid the cameras and go here and move it from there and go in and weed out the ones they still wanted to take. Give them these back. Don't give them these. Don't give them the love letters to Kim Jong-un. Don't give them the other shit. Don't give them the fucking shit where Putin promised me a tacky hotel in Moscow for the low, low price of American freedom. Oh, God, I can't take it. Am I wrong here? No. Ugh, I need a head massage. And so when I say I hate them, I'm just processing it. This is what happens with my shrink, you know. I've had a lot of therapy, so I could sit with my feelings and think why, what's the motivation here. It's not a hate that makes me want. I don't have that kind of hate in my heart in general for any. Well, I mean, what am I? Is that true? No, just where I want to go kill somebody. No. I don't want them to suffer in a way like I'm gonna do something to make you suffer. No, you're doing it. You're making you suffer, and because I know that you only see the light when something affects you directly, I'm here for it. Good. I hope it doesn't hurt too little. So maybe you'll see the light. But when I say I hate them, I just hate them because they are their own worst enemies, but there are enemies too. And everything about them, if they were only sincere about their Christianity, if the only Christianity, their only holy obligation is bashing on gay people and trans people. That's not Christianity. I don't know about Jesus they know. The one that I learned about when I was in religious instruction was talked all about, helping people, being a good person, hung out with the misfits and the underdogs. Who do you think he'd hang out with now if he came back? He'd be hanging out with the trans people. He'd be at Drag Queen Story Hour, for fuck's sake. While these assholes are trying to crucify him again. If only they were Christian. If only they fed the hungry, housed the homeless, clothed the naked. Please, go right ahead. I'll be right there with you. For fuck, right? Then okay, we can agree. Then I'll be like, wow, these Christians are pretty cool. But also, the whole notion, the very foundation of this country, they cannot stand. That's why they rewrite it. That's why Mike Johnson is reading fake prayers that he fake ascribed to Thomas Jefferson again and again and again, no matter how many times the Monticello organization tells him he's wrong. That's a lie. He never said that prayer. Why do you keep saying it again and again? This is twice in one day. Stop with this bullshit. Why? You know why? And we know why. Because they hate what this country actually is supposed to stand for. So they have to manipulate it. They have to conform it to their will. Their very small-minded will that lacks the fundamental maturity, much less decency, to function in the kind of civilization that the founders entrusted to us. But the irony is that in that framework that they entrusted to us, these people, they could live a happy life. They could practice their phony religion to the fake savior they pretend to worship, right? Like no one would bother them. They can have, but the problem is they just don't want other people to have the same considerations, leave people alone. If I'm supposed to respect you and your delusion about a man on a cloud creating Earth 6,000 years ago, then leave us alone. Leave everybody else the fuck alone, then. We got, oh God, I can't even, he's talking about their incessant assaults on trans people is just enough. I'm so sick of it, but it's only going to get worse. But okay, hold on. Here, you want to... And speaking of what's only going to get worse, here's that Roseanne video.
We won, you mad, it's done, too bad, boo-hoo, so sad.
Boo-hoo.
We won, you mad, you cry.
Oh my God.
We wave
Wave
the flag.
the flag.
Back, couldn't take another 4 years. That's a wrap, I can take a bath in your tears. That's a fact, you got lipstick all on your beard. You're a man, that is cap, that is cap, 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 cap.
See,
cap,
they
cap.
had to bash trans people there too, right? You're a man, you got lipstick on your beard. You're a man. Like, fuck you. Leave people the fuck alone, you tedious goddamn bigoted assholes. God, you're mad. You lost. So sad. Boo-hoo. Like, what the fuck? Are you two? And you know that, of course, if the shoe was on the other foot, if Harris won, and in fact, I've been wrong about the stat. I've been saying the 6 million Democrats that stayed home. It was more like 20 million. I guess when I read that stat, all of it, the stat hadn't come in yet, or the numbers. It's appalling. 20 million that voted for Biden stayed home. And if they hadn't stayed home, if only 6 million of them had come out, had gotten off their fucking asses, then we would be celebrating our first female president, which is great, but also a competent president that has respect for the country. All of it. Not just the billionaires and the autocrats that are salivating. When you're in league with the enemies of America, when you are celebrating along with all of America's enemies, and the democratic leaders of the world are frightful and whatever, or afraid of what's coming. Yeah, you bet. Wouldn't that be like a wake-up call? To be like, geez, maybe I'm in the wrong camp here. Maybe I'm not a patriot. Maybe I'm like, wouldn't that be something like, one of those moments of clarity where you get to look yourself in the fucking face and say, gee, I thought I was a patriot, but I realize all of the worst America-hating dictators are also happy that Trump won. What's that about? But I see people asking. So this is a Donald Trump-inspired rap video featuring Roseanne Barr and a Canadian, by the way, he's not even American, Canadian rapper Tom MacDonald, who's talking about, we wave the flag. What the fuck do you know about the flag? This is what pisses me off, too. What do you know about the flag? You wave the flag, but you're rapping, boo-hoo, so sad, you lost, boo-hoo. Like, drink your fucking tears. Oh, that's what we're doing. And that's the other thing that I hate about them. You think I'm sitting here drinking these monsters' tears? No, I want them to have the same decent, free, middle-class life where they are treated with respect, dignity and respect that we should all want for our fellow citizens. That's the hallmark of a successful society. Not whether 4 fuckers have more wealth than 75% of the population. You dumbasses. You are so your worst enemies, your own worst enemies, but you're our worst enemy. The whole goddamn country. Wave the flag. Why don't you figure out what the flag means, Oh yeah, you wave the flag like a child. Children, they love all of the symbols because the substance is over their heads. That comes with maturity. Yeah, as you grow up, you realize, or you would learn and understand. You get a different grasp of, the basics, not just stars and eagles. That's patriotism for you, right? How do you call yourself a patriot? And you're like, boo-hoo, so sad, drink your tears. Fuck you. So sad. Oh, don't take my pre-existing conditions protections. Don't take my benefits, my Biden benefits. Oh, wait. That's what we're going to go to next. The town of morons that are like, oh, you mean we're not going to get the benefit? That Biden, they all have fuck Joe Biden hanging like flags and shit. Oh my God. It's everything I say. They have they want all the benefits of civilization, but they lack the manners, the maturity, the decency to simply say thank you. It's like the assholes in Perjury Trader Green's district that work at the solar panel factory, whose jobs were created by the Inflation Reduction Act. How many fuck Joe Biden bumper stickers, let's go Brandon, are in that parking lot? They should be ashamed. I hope they all lose their jobs to government efficiency, right? Man-child Musk's government efficiency, because that's the only thing they could do. Efficiency means you lose your job, your salary, and it goes to the executives. That's what they're talking about. And the rest of those who flew under the radar and they kept their job there and they're terrified of losing it. Then they got to work. They got to go hardcore, as Musk says. You got to work 60 hours a week or more. Fuck your life. Work-life balance. That's for Europeans. That's for people that have standards. That have a government that functions, not just for the 1%. You'll be begging, for those benefits. But, you'll cut your goddamn nose to spite all of our faces. Okay, let's continue with their lovely tribute to their dear leader.
And then you're accepting that's an act. You hear pat. If you want our freedom, come and take it back. Bet you can. We want you mad. It's done.
Is this pathetic? It's done. Too bad. Boo-hoo. We won. Too bad. It's done. Boo-hoo. And tell me, if Harris had won, would there be any video like this? There would be like, we are all Americans. Let's be friends. Civil, right? That's what we would have to hear. Can't we all just get along? And the irony, of course, and we are hearing it from the mainstream media and from Republicans talking about, well, where's the civility? Now's the time to come together with the Democrat Party. Why can't the Democrat Party act civil? And no one, calls this shit out. It's childish, it's divisive, but it's to be expected for Republicans. They get to act like this, and the Democrats have to, sit there silently like battered spouses. In the grips of learned helplessness. Oh, don't say anything. Let them. We're above it all. Give me a break. What are we boo-hooing about? Look at these fucking assholes. They're all disgusting. They all have shitty diets. They're all overweight. They look like shit. They're all white. I didn't see one black face in that crowd. I'm actually looking for one. Did anybody see a black person there? Look at her. She's got no teeth. This one is a fucking meth head. Oh no, totally not racist. Not a single totally not racist in the bunch, right? Oh, he's grabbing his dick there. Oh, look at that. Because they're very manly. It's so pathetic. Boo-hoo! Look at us waving our made in China oversized flags. Because boo-hoo, everyone. But see, the thing is, the boo-hoo is on you. Boo. You are the boo-hoo. And then you're going to go boo-hoo. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know you meant my pre-existing conditions protections. You meant my jobs. You meant my work-life balance. Oh, because they're also like, if you work remotely, forget that. That's another thing they have in store, because, they hate the American worker. As Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy said, they're lazy, untalented, and if you don't have the boss breathing down our necks all the time, if you get to maybe sleep a little and not have to get up and join the rat race and commute 2 hours back, both ways or whatever. You get to maybe go to the gym in the morning, take a walk, take your kids to school, whatever it is. And that's why people like working from home. It's a new normal for a lot of American workers who, the American worker, the productivity, even though I've been saying this for years, American workers are more productive year after year after year, and corporations are more profitable year after year after year, but the wealth gets concentrated more and more at the top. But they want to tell everybody that, you're just a piece of dirt, and, work-life balance, go fuck yourself, really. Go, that's for Europeans. That's for those who aren't MAGAts, who aren't stupid enough to vote for their own demise. But that's, because Elon Musk doesn't like people working remotely. Because, I don't know, you got to be hardcore for him, or supposedly. I don't know. He's so hardcore, he likes to shove untested updates onto the Tesla community and then cause catastrophic car crashes and stuff like that, because it doesn't matter. You just got to get it out there, and whatever. We'll find out if it works according to how many die. Facts. Why they trying to turn Becky into Dan? See, of course, they're trying to turn Becky into Dan. Because it's always about kicking down on less than 1% of the population. These big masculine men and all of the women who hate women, right? All of the women that know how masculine they are, they gotta kick down on the minorities.
Screw Eminem! I'm Roseanne! We won, you man, it's done, too bad.
Look at this. Look at these assholes. Ugh.
Ooh, so sad.
Ew, what are you doing? Rubbing your belly? What? What's that say? Can't read that. Something offensive, probably.
So sad. Now your daddy's home. We want.
See, oh, your daddy's home now, right?
You mad, you cry, we laugh, we wave.
You cry, we laugh. We wave the flag. Because that's what it means to be an American. You know, fuck storming the beaches of Normandy. What it means to be an American is we laugh at you. You know, this is what elections are now to MAGAts, to these monstrosities. It's about, you know, making you suffer. We laugh. Oh, you cry because you are being targeted by the mob? Oh, we laugh. Oh, you're going to lose your health care? We cry. I mean, you cry, we laugh. Look at this kid here, too. Somebody should call the Department of Children's Services. And he's wearing a Nirvana shirt, too, which is so offensive. Because obviously, I would think that anyone in the band Nirvana would want anything to do with a maggot.
If you mad about it, go and cry about it. Shave your head and wear a shirt that says you're woke. If you can't handle a lot of...
So you're woke. Shave your head and wear a shirt that says you're woke. Yeah, because I'd rather be asleep, right? Woke, meaning decent, meaning capable of functioning in a free, diverse society without having a fucking meltdown. Like a bitch. Like a baby bitch who can't stand 30 minutes of the cold.
And make up lies about it. Say goodbye to Joe, your daddy's coming home. We won, you mad, it's done.
Okay.
Too bad, boo-hoo, so sad.
How many times are you going to say that? It's like, okay, yeah, we get it. You're like a baby. And this is who they are. They're sore losers and they're sore winners, too. Right? They don't know how to win. They don't know how to lose. They don't know how to function in a free democratic society. It's all above their heads. That's why they act like infants. This is beneath the dignity of a child. But here they are, all these adults, and that poor kid there dancing with his stupid maggot parents, no doubt, or whatever. Maybe a kidnapper.
Done, too bad, boo-hoo, so sad. Now your daddy's home. We won, you mad, you
And
cry,
what's your
laugh,
point?
We wave the flag. Now your daddy's home. We won, you mad, it's done, too bad, boo-hoo, so sad. Now your daddy's home. We won, you mad, you cry, we laugh, we wave the flag. Now your daddy's home.
With the fingers up too. That's the other thing I love. Now your daddy's home. And what's that mean, right? Because we don't want any women, no women in power, no traditionally female, any kinds of personality traits, because that's what they think is weak. Compassion, unless we're talking about maggots. Let me show you what I mean. This is why they are the worst. Okay? You're mad. You're the cookie. Daddy's home. Daddy's home. Is that daddy? I mean, he's your daddy, I know, because you're a bunch of whiny little babies. All of them are. Like Pete Hegseth, how many push-ups can you do? They asked him in a committee hearing. You know, he's supposed to be in an interview. How many push-ups can you do? I did 5 sets of 47, guys. You get it? Because 47. He did it to honor his dear leader. Supposedly. That's these big, manly, masculine men. They are such fragile little bitches. It's so tedious. Here we go. This is from... I know my voice is shot, but please bear with me. There's this guy who I love, James O'Brien. He's the best. Next to me, I should say. No, I'm only kidding. After me, he's number one. No, he's great. And I bet JD, is JD on the chat? Knows about him? All right. Here's from ProPublica. Let's see. Let me take another drink because of my coffee. Thank you for bearing with my bad throat. My cold. All right. This storm-battered town voted for Trump. He has vowed to overturn the law that could fix its homes. Okay, here, let me just get the summary here. So, we'll just read some of it. Cynthia, this is from ProPublica. Who is the author? To give credit where credit is due. I don't know, where is it? Is it at the bottom? I don't know, I don't see it. Sharon Lerner, that's who it is. They should put that at the top. She covers health and the environment, previously an investigative reporter at The Intercept. She focuses on failures of the environmental regulatory process as well as biosafety and pandemic profiteering. Okay. Thank you. It's a great article. So Donald Trump has said he will overturn a law that helps communities better weather the effects of climate change. If he follows through, he'll be reversing an initiative that has disproportionately benefited areas that make up his base. And how many times have I said this? We've pointed it out. The stats, the Inflation Reduction Act, the infrastructure bill, the bulk of the monies and all of the policies and the initiatives that came from those bills are going to red states, because red states are in dire straits. Because why? Because the morons keep voting for fellow morons who do fuck all for them. They do nothing for their communities but pass bathroom bills, pass divisive virtue signaling. And I mean, you know how Republicans hate virtue signaling, except when they're signaling that they have no virtues, that their virtues are nothing but negativity and hate. That's the virtue they like signaling. Sort of like how they cry about DEI whenever anybody but a white man has any position of authority. Then it's all DEI. But if a white man, is going for a job, he doesn't have to have any qualifications at all. In fact, he could be so pathetically unqualified, but they'll still put him over any woman any day. Hold on. Or any other person, minority. So, okay. The article begins, Cynthia Robertson could be forgiven for feeling that the banner was aimed at her. It's a white on black lettering, fuck Biden and fuck you for voting for him, hung in the wooden house right across the street from her own. Hostility towards the outgoing Democratic president is no surprise in Sulphur, Louisiana, a red town and a red state in a country that has handed the White House and Congress to Republicans. Yet the message felt like a poke in the eye at a time when Robertson was seeking funding through Biden's signature climate law, so her nonprofit organization could repair and retrofit hurricane-battered houses in the area, including her neighbors. Not even a fraying tarp, a tar patch, or the piece of corrugated metal tacked on the roof could keep the rain from pouring inside. So Donald Trump has vowed to overturn the law that would provide funding through the Inflation Reduction Act, which he has referred to as the Green New Scam. And you'll see, I'm not going to read the whole thing, we'll paraphrase some of it, but throughout, what is so clear is how the Republicans, this is the game they play. They're very good at their little branding exercises that, Green New Scam. There's no Green New Deal, by the way, as we know. Even though they constantly oh, this is Green New Deal. Ugh. It doesn't exist. Just like defunding the police doesn't exist. The Green New Deal is just a framework of policy, goals that we might want to reach for, or maybe one day do, if we want to have a habitable planet. It's hard to talk. So, okay, yeah. So, but he's promised. Traitor Trump has promised he will be rolling back this law that has disproportionately benefited red states. Of course, reds and all of his base. Just like but they don't care because they are propagandized. And the other side, the corporate media that's not funded by the Kremlin or isn't Rupert Murdoch's poison pustule lying to the victim/viewers, they will not be educating them on this either. They'll just, I guess, poll them or something and ask them how they feel about shit that doesn't exist or isn't happening. So not a single, the article continues, not a single Republican legislator voted for the law, even though the outsized portion of its historic $1 trillion in climate and energy provisions benefits red districts in states that voted for Trump. So, but if the shoe was on the other foot, as we know, Republicans do fuck all for anyone in a blue state, as we see what's going on in California now. All they do is lie. They never come in with open hands or say, how can we help? It's how can we harm? How can we divide? How can we pour lies that will get the idiots that aren't maybe completely propagandized into voting for their own demise? So, and that's really the game here. The game is to destroy pesky democracy once and for all, so they don't have to bother with the whole pantomime of elections and freedom and caring about whether you have a fair share or a seat at the table or, whatever. Await your rewards in heaven, bubby. That's where we're going. That's why everything that they talk about, all of their initiatives, all you got to do is take them to their conclusion. And it's clear that they're dragging us back to the Dark Ages. They go after schools, government schools. Well, that's one of the pillars of democracy. You need an educated populace. So naturally, they go after school. Oh, they indoctrinate us. They indoctrinate kids. Yeah, indoctrinate kids to love democracy, to understand democracy, to think critically, not just think that a sky spook created shit, like a lazy fucking asshole sitting around waiting to be raptured. This is what they're talking about. And they, back in the good old days called the Dark Ages, education was a providence of the rich. That's where they wanted to go. As Romney said years ago, you get as much education as you can afford. This whole literacy and the whole notion of kids going to school and having a childhood and being able to learn and grow and develop. That's a modern invention that please, kids, you should be in the factories, in the factory farms and shit. Fuck it. If you were supposed to have a nice childhood, you would have been born rich. That's the way God would have wanted it. That's why they go after the separation of church and state, regardless of the fact that the founders came from a society. They understood. They weren't morons like MAGAts. They understood that the world, that the progressive experiment called the United States needed to have a clear line of separation between church and state, due to the fact that they came from, they weren't morons. They were students of democracy and decent and Western civilization. So they understood that how the church and state intertwined, kept people in their place for thousands of years. And that's why Republicans want to do away with the wall between church and state. They want God everywhere. So you don't have to, you just pray to God and await your rewards in heaven. That's why they don't want government. They're like, oh, I don't, what do they say? I don't worship government. I worship God. Who fucking worships government? We don't worship government, but we expect it, and we want it to function for people. We want to set the ground rules of society, so we can all have a seat at the table and a chance, and, we can all contribute. And I mean, that's the point, right? Isn't that why people fought, bled, and died? Not so. But if Elon Musk and Zuckerberg can run away with the goddamn entire pie, why we fight over the crumbs. That's it. That's the game here. You don't have to be a genius to figure it out, but I guess that says a lot about MAGAts, and that's what always drives me nuts about people who see conspiracies everywhere. They see a conspiracy in Hillary Clinton drinking adrenochrome. They're drinking the blood. That's where I was trying to find the clip of Roseanne Barr talking about Hillary Clinton drinking blood. And it's true. They're eating babies. They're drinking blood. These fucking morons who, we won, drink your tears, blah, blah, too bad. These idiots, it's, I'm losing my voice. Hold on. These fucking idiots don't see the conspiracy right in front of their faces. That is as old as recorded history and older. Make the rich richer. Divide and conquer along any fissure of disunity, and make the rich richer, and keep the working class in their place. Keep them nice and stupid and divided. Will they ever learn? Will these MAGAts ever learn? Will they ever see the conspiracy in front of their faces? I don't know. So, so as the article says, according to a report, a group of tracking the effects of the law, red districts have the biggest growth in green jobs. Jobs. How many of these MAGAts are working, have, able to put a roof over their head, food on the table, all that, because of Joe Biden, right? FJB. I'd like to interview all those MAGAts in that stupid video. Well, you gotta just scratch the surface, and you'll get right to the hypocrisy. It's not very deep. They're on all kinds of government assistance, or Obamacare, or pre-existing condition protections and stuff, right? But they, it's okay for them. It's just, others. And they don't like trans people. That's it. They spend a lot of time thinking about the pee-pee of others. And of course, fear-mongering about shit. Like when I was watching Nancy Mace, I know, right? That's why I want you to become a patron, because I got to do shit like that to keep this show going. And it doesn't, I deserve patrons for that. It's really unbelievable. And, why would you do it for free? It's like, not just for free. Keep the show going and growing. It takes a lot of work. Hold on. What time is it? Shit. Oh, okay. We still got some time. Hold on, guys. Be right back. This is Tara Devlin. Become a patron. Patreon.com/Tara Devlin. And so I was watching this Nancy Mace, and she was attacking Jasmine Crockett, who's amazing, and thank God for her. And because she's not afraid to go back at these monsters. And she was saying, of course, she's cursing, and that's the new thing. Like they have potty mouths, Republicans, because that's strong. Like their weak ass bitch, convicted felon standard bearer. He's so strong, can't you tell by the amount of makeup he wears and the girdle and the, and the fragile little bitch personality. But she was saying that Jasmine Crockett doesn't think it matters that women feeling or being raped in bathrooms by. I was like, what the fuck is she talking about? I had no idea, and I looked it up, and of course it's a nonsensical, trans hating lie that this maggot likes to spread. Who, of course, Nancy Mace used to not be as filthy and homophobic and transphobic as she is, but she needs the money now. But so she spreads this lie that women are being raped in bathrooms by men dressed up as women, which is a thing that has never happened. Okay, I looked it up. I was looking for instances of that. Maybe it happened once somewhere. So I guess everything's happened once. It's not any kind of epidemic. I couldn't find one instance of it. And if that has happened, that's because it's not like something that's rampant. It's some person who's like a serial killer or very demented, disturbed person that should be, locked up in the very least. But has nothing to do with a trans person. That's two entirely different things. But she knows that. Nancy Mace, with her oversized crosses hanging from her ears. She knows that, but she's lying. And in fact, the opposite is true. Trans people are more likely to be attacked in bathrooms than a woman is going to be raped by a man in a dress. So the lies are so fucking disgusting. They're so disgusting. And why don't you tell me, she's yelling, you hate America. Who hates America more than somebody that lies to the people they pretend to represent? Tells them, look at what's happening. Men are dressed as women. They're raping people everywhere. Just lying with trying to deliberately divide people and make them upset and afraid about something that doesn't exist. Jesus Christ. So let's see. I'll just read some of the summary of the article here. So many storm-hit communities in Republican-leaning states have disproportionately benefited from the Inflation Reduction Act, the IRA. The climate provisions that, and the article goes into it, that they deliberately called it the Inflation Reduction Act and not even though the bulk of a vast majority of the initiatives in the IRA went to climate initiatives, right? And investments in climate change, prevention, and, jobs and shit like that. But they didn't want to call it that because they know how easily triggered the MAGAts are. And they hate Mother Earth as much as they hate America, I guess. So major climate and energy projects funded by the IRA have targeted Republican strongholds, including substantial investments in Texas and other red states. Well, why don't you secede then, please? Please. Get the fuck out. I'm really sick of your whining and your divisiveness and your inability to say thank you. But okay. In Sulphur, it's not pronounced like that, but I can't remember how it's pronounced. I think it's called, well, it says it in the article, but whatever. In Louisiana, a community repeatedly devastated by hurricanes. A nonprofit is anxiously waiting for a vital grant under the IRA. However, the final decision on this funding now lies with Traitor Trump, a potentially hostile Trump administration. So clean energy initiatives funded in the IRA have reached nearly 40% of U.S. congressional districts, including many led by Republican representatives. The IRA has fueled political contention. Republicans have repeatedly sought to repeal the sections in the law, even though they benefit their constituents. That's another thing it says in the article. Because that's all they got. That's their virtue signaling. You know why? Because they count on the mainstream media to not correct the record. Period. They know that half the media is in their pocket and is covering for all of their evil doings, and they know that the other half of the media ain't gonna point it out either. They'll just do a poll. What do you think about the Inflation Reduction Act? Oh, I hate it. I FJB. Foxtrot Juliet Bravo. So, even without a full repeal, Trump could still, he will, substantially weaken the Inflation Reduction Act through executive actions, even though he's going to fuck over, the MAGAts. So, here we go. At the end, it says, this is just the summary. And what I wanted to get to, it says, this town in Louisiana now faces an uncertain future. Their ability to access crucial funding to address climate impacts depends on the administration that has branded the IRA a target for dismantling. And that's one of the things Trump says he's going to do on day one. Start dismantling the Inflation Reduction Act and the Infrastructure Act. So at the end, this is what really got me. Here we go. Because let's remember, the town has been decimated by hurricanes. It's really has felt the effects of the climate change that's now, as warnings have been coming to fruition, that the natural disasters are more catastrophic and more frequent, and it's only going to get worse. So it says what it decides. So here, let me go up one paragraph. We're going to give, so here we go. Zealand Hoover, a senior advisor to the EPA administrator who oversaw the IRA grant program, said the agency made a Herculean effort and managed to distribute more than 95% of the money, because they were doing it knowing that Traitor Trump was coming to fuck everyone over, even though it was MAGAts. The bulk were going to the MAGAts. They could have just focused on the blue state dollars and said, well, F these MAGAts, we'll just dedicate our time to making sure that those who voted for us get the benefits of this bill. But no, they considered all of the idiots who voted for Trump Americans too. But that consideration only goes one way. But agency officials didn't have time to give the proposals that were submitted in the final weeks of the application period the careful reads they deserved. And so they decided to reserve some funds to the next administration. And they sent out letters saying, we are going to give those 2,000 they sent out letters. Well, this is a quote. They told the people who had applied that, I'm sorry, you applied too late, and we're not able to get to your application before the new administration starts. So good luck, booby. And, fingers crossed. So what it decides, this is the last paragraph, will matter to Tony Rodriguez, who hung the Fuck Biden banner outside his home in the fall. A slight man with a graying beard who goes by Burnout. That's his nickname. And there you could see the guy's house. It's just a hunk of junk. And he said he can't remember. They asked him, why did he do it? He said, because of all the bad stuff. And they asked, what bad stuff? Well, he can't remember. But now he says that he's hoping that Biden can stop the rain from coming in his bedroom. Well, you know what, honey? I hope you drown. I hope the rain really really gets you. I hope it goes above your neck. Because you get what you voted for. Fuck Biden. All right. We will win eventually because we're on the right side of history. Decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. Become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. Check out apsradionews.com. And I will see you soon. Hold on. Here's Tara Jr. He wants to come up. Come on. Come on. Whee! Look. Kunta Kinte. Here he is. All right. I was trying to time that better so I didn't have to rush that part at the end. But just to put a pin in it here, or a fine point on it. He said he hung the banner, the Fuck Biden banner, to raise awareness, even though he has no roof, thanks to the hurricanes, and he's applied for IRA money. He hung the banner to raise awareness about all the bad stuff Biden did that he had heard on the news. Okay? But he can't remember the exact source. And he can't remember what the news was. But he said that the president was to blame for children being sex trafficked, repeating a false conspiracy theory that, of course, he was inundated with, thanks to Russian-funded propaganda, and that Biden had sold out our country. In what way, I guess we'll never know. And still, he said he would be grateful if Miss Cindy, the woman who applied for all the funding to fix this dumb fuck's roof, could use the money she's hoping to get from the law that Biden passed, that was championed by the outgoing president, to stop the rain from coming into his bedroom. At least then, this piece of ungrateful waste of human DNA said, at least then he'd have done something good. Okay. No, now you know why. I can't. I'm infuriated. It's infuriating. It's absolutely infuriating. At least then he'd have done something good. Something good for you? Fuck Biden and fuck you for voting for him. Well, guess what? You fucked yourself, dum-dum. I hope you get nothing. Right? Like in Gene Wilder said, you get nothing. You lose. Go and drown in your bedroom, moron. And I hope it doesn't hurt too little. You pathetic, useless idiot. What, really? And this is the problem. This is why we're in this boat. And I'm telling you, it is because of the corporate media, and it's 100% because of propaganda. Where's he getting? Oh, Biden allowed sex trafficking? That's a QAnon conspiracy. Right out of the bowels of the Kremlin. These people are not hearing news. They're not hearing reality. Jesus Christ. And they're certainly not getting it from the mouth of the con man, who nobody says that, like he talks about, oh, kids are going to school and they're dropping off Johnny and Janie comes home. I mean, don't you have any dignity to believe that? Not just to believe it, but to vote for it. Are you that dumb? Are you that hateful? Are you that goddamn stupid? Do you hate your fellow Americans that much? You should be ashamed. But guess what? Your fellow Americans, the normal people, the progressives, the Democrats, the liberals, we don't act like that to you because we tried to fix your roof. We tried to give you a fighting chance. We tried to help you in spite of yourselves. We tried. And I'm sure you're on all kinds of other kinds of government assistance. Clearly, you're on Socialist Security, Medicare. Thank you. Thanks, Dems, that you can't even call by our name. I'm so sick of them and it. I'm sick of it. And that's why I wish that will the Democrats listen to me for once in their lives? Will they? You know what I mean? Because guess what? We have to fight every battle on every front. And I'm writing an article about, the whole Democrat Party thing that drives me up a fucking wazoo. This happened a couple of days ago. And I'm going to talk about it now. I'll probably talk about it, make a shorter video about it too, but where is it? Oh, here's Nancy Mace. And in fact, we talked about it. I talked about it with Robyn when we filled in for Mike. But it's this important. I'm talking about it again.
Recognize Miss Mace from South Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Martin O'Malley, I want to wish you luck in your campaign to be chair of the Democrat National Committee. And let me just say, I think you are the perfect candidate to chair the Democrat Party. You're a liberal.
You hear this shit? Okay. This keeps going on. This goes on. It's not just her, it's all of them.
Record is truly astonishing.
Thank you.
At an event in 2005, you compared a federal budget request which cut spending to the terrorist attacks of 9/11. You raised taxes, tolls, and fees on your constituents.
Isn't she unbearable? Her face, just her face alone, with the dripping hate and just her disrespect, while she's got these giant crosses around her, framing her fucking her sourpuss. Miss Mace.
83 times as governor of Maryland.
And of course,
including
all of this,
increasing sales taxes.
All of this is a lie and distortion, But what else do they have? They don't have anything in reality to boast about. They can't. What are they going to say? We made the rich richer. We hate you. We leave you out in the cold. We leave you behind every fucking time. We're the ones that will ensure that your bedroom remains flooded every time it rains. We're the ones. FJB. And F you for voting for him. Oh, F you, honey.
Taxes, the gas tax. You also created an array of new taxes on services for your constituents.
And the number one public
I'm talking. I'm going to reclaim my time. I'm talking right now. I've not asked you a question.
Why are you so angry, bitch?
No, I haven't.
What's the angry act? They're all so angry, I'm reclaiming my time. What are you fucking angry about? Because you suck? Because you're a lick spittle to a con man with a fake university and a convicted felon? A convicted rapist? Because you got nothing but hate? Because you gotta hate with less than 1% of the population, and that, because of money, you need money from the fellow hateful monsters, and that history is gonna revile you more than the normal people of Earth do now? Is that why you're so dripping with hate? If Jesus came back, we know you'd crucify him again, but how dare you? With the crosses, all this performance art. flags and crosses and you love God. Everything is a lie. Okay, keep going.
No, you haven't.
For your constituents, making your constituents, the people you served in Maryland, pay more. You love some law-breaking illegal aliens as well. You've advocated for mass amnesty for illegal aliens. My favorite part of your love for criminals in this country is you don't refer to them as illegal aliens, but instead you refer to them as new Americans. You must really hate American citizens. You must really hate our country. In 2011, you signed a bill into law to allow illegal aliens to qualify for in-state tuition at public universities in Maryland. And the hits are going to keep on coming. In 2014, you signed a bill into law to allow illegal aliens to get Maryland driver's license. In 2014, you signed a bill into law to allow gender-confused, sexually perverted men
Fuck
to use
you.
women's restrooms and locker rooms. In other words, you forced women and underage girls to undress in front of men.
Wow.
I could go on. Suffice to say, you're perfectly...
Of course, trans women are not men, you pig. No offense to pigs, but okay. In fact, she's encouraging confused, hate-mongering fascists to get all furious about shit that don't exist. You know, as long as the American people are divided and fighting amongst each other, Republicans win. They're happy. But the entire... I'm just trying to find this thing, because I had a whole fucking thing. Where is it? Of Nancy... Because everything she's saying is a lie, you know, like, and a distortion. Well, take my word for it at this point. But the point of the whole thing, I'll just fast forward a little.
What a woman is for me today.
Madam, or
Can you
Congresswoman-
define what a woman is?
Oh, yes.
What is a woman?
You're
What
going to
is
ask
this
me to define
bullshit?
what a woman
Yes, I am right now.
Well, I'm
You
talking,
just said you could.
Yes.
Explain it to me.
I'm talking to a woman right now.
Are you?
Distinguished woman.
What is a
Elected
woman?
What? See,
representative.
you know what I'm saying? Okay, the reason I'm playing this, I guess we don't have to play the whole thing, but look at his demeanor. What? Like, don't you have a spine, honey? You want to lead the Democratic National Committee? Oh, he doesn't seem very strong to me in the face of this kook, this demented, perverted kook in front of him. And why he has to, I guess, you know, everybody's got to do them, right? You do you. This is his personality. It is what it is. But as you notice, as she's going on about Democrat National Committee, Democrat Party, you're going to lead the Democrat Party, all this. None of the other Democrats in the committee asked for a point of order and to correct the fact that Nancy Mace is talking about something that doesn't exist. And the reason we will never win if we continue to allow the Republicans to frame not only the conversation, they even frame how the Democratic Party is called. You know, they don't get to rename the Democratic Party without any kind of opposition, for fuck's sake. But it seems like they are. I don't know who in the Democratic Party or what political genius came up with the strategy of sitting there like a beaten, battered spouse while a demented kook beats you and lambasts you and calls you anything other than your name. I don't know who came up with this, but how can we expect the Democratic Party to stand up to this fascist effing goddamn baboon, this entire cabal of monsters, to Project 2025, all these hate-mongering fascist pricks, and the everything that they have on their side, the unlimited money, their lack of standards, their lack of shame. You know, how do we expect the Democrats to stand up against that and fight if they can't even stand up for their own damn name? It's unreal. And no wonder the Democrats they are perceived as weak, because that's what the Republicans say. And this is what they say on their propaganda channels, on their Russian-funded propaganda channels. And, who can assert otherwise, frankly? Because the Democrats don't seem to have a fucking scrap in them.
What is a woman?
I think you're kind of denigrating the purpose of this.
What is it? You can't define what a woman is. All right. In an
I'm
effort to
married
be fair,
to a woman.
in an
I
effort
have
to be
two
fair and
daughters who are
unbiased,
women.
Can you define what a man is for me?
I have
It's
two
incredible.
sons
Okay.
that are men. Yes,
I have a
can.
series of yes or no questions. So the potentially future chair of the Democrat Party cannot
See,
define.
there
let's
you
for the
go
record,
again.
Mr. Chairman. He cannot define what a woman is, and he cannot define what a man is. And you expect
It's just
the
pathetic.
people in this country to follow your lead? I'm a woman who has broken so many glass ceilings in my life. The first
you
Republican
really?
woman elected to Congress from South Carolina. The first woman to ever graduate from the Citadel of the Military College of South Carolina.
Oh, you mean your
I
DEI,
know what a
right?
woman is, and I'm going to
You-
protect every one of them. So I have a series
Protect them from decency, dignity, democracy, being, humanity. Protect them from freedom, from not having to bleed out in parking lots.
of yes or no questions for you. Today, one of my Democrat colleagues yesterday
See?
said
No,
a
wait, there
rape
you go
victim's
again. Democrat is not a noun. I mean, an adjective. It's a noun. So it's democratic. I don't understand. I know I talk about this a lot because, and I just like I talk about the mainstream media, because this is the problem. It's infuriating, but it speaks volumes. It's like they have conceded defeat before even throwing up a defense hand. And the fact is, this whole Democrat Party bullshit, this isn't nothing new. It goes back to the 1940s. That's when it started. But now it's epidemic. It's endemic to the Republican Party. And you tell me, if a Democrat, if Martin O'Malley could go on the corporate media and call the Republican Party the Republican Party, I'd just like somebody to try it, to see how many seconds it takes them to jump in and stop it and correct it. That's what would happen. What are you doing? Why are you saying Republican Party? That's not the name of the party. Let's just call people by their names. But the Republican, I have plenty of clips of the corporate media being interviewed on the corporate media, and the Republicans saying Democrat Party and them saying nothing. And whether it be an interviewer or a pundit, why should they? Why the hell should they? The Democrats don't stand up for themselves. Why should anybody on the corporate media? Why should, Anderson Cooper do that job for them? Isn't that Martin O'Malley's job? He wants to be the head of the DNC.
fear of rape was just, quote, fantasy. Do you agree with this statement? Is a woman's fear of rape, being raped, a fantasy?
That's what she's talking about when I was saying earlier, meaning fear of rape. Well, Jasmine Crockett said it's a fantasy, what she's talking about, because she was talking about women being raped by men dressed as women in women's bathrooms, like hiding out in a woman's bathroom dressed like a woman so they can rape women. And this is something that doesn't happen. And I don't know, maybe it'll happen now that Nancy Mace has given this whatever serial killer that votes for her a good idea, right? But it's not a thing. It's a fantasy in her twisted, demented, perverted mind, or excuse for her mind. But she's using it again as just spreading this bullshit. Because fear, be afraid, be afraid.
Yes or no?
No, it's not a fact.
Okay, one of my Democrat colleagues yesterday stated a rape victim's fear of rape is being, quote, dramatic.
Of course,
Do you
the
agree with-
devil's in the details, and there you go, right? But let's not continue. He just takes the whipping like the whipped dog that he is for the next 5 minutes or so. And then, of course, you know, the other Democrats sat there like the good battered spouses that they are, hoping and waiting for their, their drunken mates to stop it, please. I'll be nice. Please, eventually, he gets like this. They get like this. And if it's my fault. I shouldn't, if I act nice, maybe they'll, eventually he'll know how much I love him and he'll change. That's the Democratic Party's strategy for dealing with Republicans. Exactly. And hold on a second. Here's another one. It goes on. Here's perjury traitor Green.
Since you're very interested in being DNC chair, you are, after all, a lifelong Democrat politician. I don't even know if you had a job in the real
Democrat
world.
is
but
not
you have been an
an adjective. I know you're very not too smart there, perjury, but Democrat is a noun, and the adjective is democratic. But okay, continue.
elected
Yep, I've had
politician
a
for
few of
years.
them.
Mr. O'Malley,
And I
you're
ran my
also
own-
a
and I
Catholic,
ran
are you
my own
not?
law
You're
firm.
also a Catholic, are you not?
No religious
I
tests,
am.
but
Do you
okay.
serve God or do you serve the Democrat Party?
See, there you go again. Mr. Chairman, what is going on here? That's not I don't know what they're talking about. There's no Democrat Party, right? I don't know what this pathology is. But come on here. Let the record reflect that the asshole, the perjury traitor Green Queen questioning me should call the Democratic Party by its actual name. I mean, is that too much to ask from this esteemed body where you're always pining for us to come together? Why is the country so divided? I don't know. The country's so divided. Isn't it a shame that the Democrat Party just won't work with President Trump? Why can't America ever come together if this Democrat Party and this Democrat National Committee doesn't want to work with our dear leader? Or, Daddy's finally home, but where's the Democrat Party?
I serve God. And
Okay,
country
then
and
Mr.
people.
O'Malley.
Mr. Chairman, as a
It's
Roman
incredible.
Catholic, I take offense
I
at the
As a
suggestion
Roman Catholic, I take offense at the suggestion.
that
time.
somebody has
Mr.
to choose
O'Malley,
between
I
God
reclaim my
and their
time.
service.
But they don't take offense to the incessant misnomer, right? I don't get it. I don't get it. Can anybody explain this to me and I'll stop talking about it? But maybe I'll never stop talking about it until they stop letting it slide like babies. It's just, I couldn't take it. If somebody called me not my name deliberately, wouldn't you? They're doing. It's not a nice name. It's not like a pet name. They're not calling you darling or dear. They're calling the Democrat Party to separate the American people, to make from the Democratic Party. A party that evokes just the name Democratic evokes good things like freedom and decency and democracy and e pluribus unum and shit. But Democrat, that's a rat, that's not, you don't like Democrat. That's something that is so dripping with disrespect. We don't even have to call it by its name. No one wants to vote Democrat. Right? They're talking about the oldest continuous political party in world history with this juvenile pejorative. And of course, calling somebody by their name, it's part of how you have a functioning society. It's about building trust, right? Creating a welcoming environment of cooperation. It demonstrates a level of emotional intelligence when you call somebody but what they want to be called. And of course, it also it kind of reduces a conflict, wouldn't it? If you call somebody what they want to be called, call them by their name. But this has been going on since the 1940s, and now it's expected from the fucking convicted felon to the lowliest of Russian-funded influencers. And you better believe it. When I'm not watching that prick get sworn, take the fake oath he's going to violate immediately, but he's going to say something. If he references the Democratic Party, it's going to be Democrat Party. And nobody will stop it. Of course, not in his tacky speech, but it will even when he's being interviewed by anybody. They don't stop. Excuse me, Mr. President, why don't you just call the Democratic Party by its name? It's such a babyish, juvenile tactic. And it doesn't, the office of the presidency, don't you think the American people expect more from you and deserve more than just babyish taunts? Half the American people, there are more registered Democrats in the country than there are filthy fascist pricks, registered Republicans. But you won't. They're working on that, of course. You won't know that by watching corporate media go on and enable this whole, he's got a mandate. My ass has a mandate. But Traitor Trump don't.
I reclaim my time. Mr. O'Malley, will you be
See, they're more offended
the
about
murder of
the
unborn
thing about the
up until the day of
Catholics.
birth like your party does? As DNC chair, will you be supporting the murder of innocent unborn people? Is that in line with your faith in
where
God
was
and the
your
Catholic
mother?
Church?
I trust the judgment of women and doctors.
Where was
over
abortion
the
when
judgment
you were
of government?
No, do you trust?
See, this is the other thing that fucking drives me nuts. I trust a woman. Great, wonderful. Where's the other part of that? I mean, I should be DNC chair at this point. I think I would do a better job. Really, because it's not. Great. A woman's right to choose. Wonderful. We all get that. And that's easily dismissed by the MAGAts in general, because you just say, well, choose the murder of a baby. No, what's wrong with saying, I don't support murder, of course. I'm not a Republican, but I do support the freedom to control your own body, freedom to make decisions with your doctor and yourself and your family. And I support the Democratic policies that actually reduce the abortion rate. I support the health and education and the expanded, health care, the expanded salaries, the family leave, the policies that actually reduce the abortion rate. And since criminalizing abortion does not reduce the abortion rate, I trust women. Criminalizing abortion, all that does is kill women, as we know for the fact that the abortion rate in the country is up since the fall of Roe. How fucking hard is that? How hard is that, Martin O'Malley? To sit there. Well, I trust women. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Bring a book. Anybody got a... I don't know. What are you eating for lunch? Yeah, let's get out of here. Whatever. It's just boring. It's not just that, but how about, you could tell people the truth. You have a platform here. This perjury bitch is going to spread her lie. They're going to post this, and this is exactly what they did, because you look like a beaten dog. No offense. I feel bad for dogs, because dogs would bite back. They'd have enough at one point. They say, enough of this, and they snap back. Not Democrats, though, but we're going to trust them to fight fascism, to fight oligarchy, unlimited power and wealth in the hands of a few. We're going to trust them to be concerned like Susan Collins. We're going to trust them with their because just by the way they stay silent. You know what I want in a party, guys? I want a party that stays silent in the face of pure evil. Don't you? Isn't that what you want? Isn't that what you voted for in a party? And that stays silent in the face of lies. It's absolutely incredible. There's so many missed opportunities all the time, but it's enough. I called up my representatives, and I went off about this hearing. I think I was talking about that too when we covered for Malloy, because I was like, what is this? I called up Hakeem Jeffries' office, because he's the leader of this shit show. I said, how many times does somebody get to call you out of your name before you look like you have lost? Before you look like a weak, learned, helpless, beaten spouse. That's what they look like. And I'm frankly sick of it. Because why should we stay silent? We're the party, the Democrats are the party that gave this country the 40-hour work week. Medicare, Social Security, the American century. If that's not enough to boast about, then you should not be the leader of the party. You should not be a Democrat. How about all of, the Joe Biden's successes? You don't even have to go back that far. Talk about that. Talk about the fact that the abortion rate goes down under Democrats. That's just a fact. And how dare you sit there? Well, I trust women. Yeah, sure. When she's like, Democrat Party murder. Well, I don't know who this Democrat Party is, but I don't like murder either. And the fact is, abortions go down under Democrats. So anyone truly pro-life would vote Democratic. What is so hard about that? You could put that on a bumper sticker. Right? Pro-life, vote Democratic. Huh? Disarm these beasts of their cudgels. It's incredible, but they don't. Oh, well, let them. Everyone will see. That's the strategy, I guess. We'll just stay silent. Woozy, woozy, wow, wow. And everyone will see just how weird they are. I guess that's the tactic. Yeah, they're weird. Yeah. And they suck. And they have nothing to offer. They're hypocrites. They harm their own constituents and the whole grand experiment. But we don't have to stay silent. We got a lot to boast about. You know, silence equals death. If you remember the old act up phrase, and that is the goddamn truth. What if we stayed silent when Reagan was silent about the AIDS crisis? But they didn't care, you know, it was just the queers. But no, we don't learn these lessons, I guess, or Democrats don't. Like the Nancy Pelosi's don't. The Martin O'Malley's don't. Jesus Christ. Thank God for people like Jasmine Crockett. Thank God. You know, that all hope isn't lost. But, you know, I wonder if she... Because I never hear her standing up about Democrat Party. But anyway, I'm going to call her office too, I think. And ask. You know why? Because we will win one day. Because we're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you, Charlie from APS Radio News. Thank you, patrons. Patreon.com/Tara Devlin. I love you all. I will see you soon. Can't talk. Whew. I was telling you. I think that's going to have to be it. If you can hear from my voice. I'm surprised I made it this far. It's pretty bad, right? All right. Listen. Every day the voice is getting better, but it's still not 100%. Whoo-wee. All right, my friends. If you can, become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. I said that already. And let me know what you think. I don't know. Am I off base about this? Because maybe I'm not seeing it. Maybe this is a brilliant strategy of never standing up for yourself. Right? Of demanding from at least the media to be called by your name. I mean, maybe that's a strategy. Maybe they want to be called Democrat Party. Right? Am I wrong? Maybe. Maybe they're like, great name. Just gets me going. All right, listen, guys. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you, Jim, for your super chat and for being a moderator, and everyone else for your support, and for patrons and everyone else. And thank you, Josie on the chat says that, yes, I'd vote for Tara as head of the Democrat. I would vote for me, too. I think I should be head of the Democrats at this point. At least a communications advisor. I really do. I mean, what the fuck? You could take out the F words. But as we know and see, we're up against the propagandists, but also, you have to communicate. You could do all these great things for the American people, but if you don't talk about it, if you don't communicate, if you don't take credit and give credit where it's due, no one will know. If you stay silent, you allow them to define you. And clearly, that's what they have done. Without even a fight. That's why we're here. You understand, this used to be the Democrat Party thing used to be a tactic that it was not epidemic, but it used to be that they would do now and then when they were talking to each other or at their fucking monstrous convention or whatever, their monster mash. And now it's the goddamn so-called president convicted felon does it. on, the longest running television show in American history. And no one says anything. It's just the way it is. And then everybody's like, okay, Democrat Party. I guess this is what we do. We mock Democrats. They're so mockable, aren't they? We get to lie about them because they'll just sit there and go, yeah, I guess I like murder. I trust women to choose murder or not. That's basically what he says. I trust women to choose murder. You want them to choose murder? No, I want them to have the freedom not to bleed out in a parking lot because criminalizing abortion doesn't reduce the abortion rate. What is so hard about that? All right. I gotta get unconscious quick. Thank you for hanging out, my friends. We will win. And maybe I'll have my voice back when we do. So thank you. Share the show with your friends. All that stuff. I know I ask a lot of you, but that's what is expected. More will be revealed, but more will be required, is the motto of the Tarabuster community. And thank you all. Thank you, Charlie, as always. And thank you, patrons. And I will see you soon.